What's up, everybody? Getting into this episode of Y&R. That scene was pretty interesting. Like, it's the same old with Billy, Kane, and Jill. This has been going on for years with the three of them. The jealousy it's exhausting because Billy is never gonna let go of his jealousy and resentment towards Kane and Jill. He's still jealous about their relationship, that they're close. And he still feels like Jill favors Kane over him. And there may be some truth to that. I think there's definitely truth to it. But Billy needs to look in the mirror and see the role that he played in all of this. Because I love how Jill read him down. I wish that we could see Jill in person. Like, I really wish Jill was there in Genoa City instead of on the phone screen. But I know Jess Walton is, enjoying her retirement or semi-retirement, so I ain't even gonna bother with it. As long as we get some Jill scenes, I'm cool, even if it is by phone. But Jill read the shit out of him because this is the first time Billy has contacted her since their last big argument about her selling the company to Victor. So it's been months since he's been in contact with his mother, and the first thing out of his mouth is about business, is about whether or not she knew Kane was Aristotle Dumas. She was pissed about that. She was pissed and she was hurt because her grandson literally just died. And this is what you're calling her about? I would have been pissed too. And of course, Billy's upset that she knew. Then he's sitting there talking about, oh, I thought Kane would have called you and told you. She was like, yeah, Kane called and told me about Chance being dead. And he sat on the phone and listened to me cry. That's more than what the hell Billy doing. Like, Billy done called her just to pick a damn fight. And then he get mad because Jill went to see Colin or whatever, and she realized that Colin has changed. I mean, Jill and Kane would know. They knew him pretty well. They knew he was a con. They knew his trickery. But I think maybe death did turn him around. Do I think Colin is really dead? I don't know. You never know with that dude. He always had a con up his sleeve. But this whole back and forth between Jill and Billy is just so ridiculous. Like, it needs to end. I'm not saying Jill was the perfect mother, because she wasn't. Jill had her moments, but she definitely gave a lot of opportunities to Billy, and Billy squandered every opportunity. When Billy ass was laid up in the hospital hurt, Jill was there. You know what I'm saying? Crying and reading Victor for filth for trashing her son. She defended Billy. She wasn't perfect, but shit, she was there. She was there. That's all that counts. That's what matters. But Billy doesn't see that. Billy just sees ego. Like, he just sees what he want to see. And that's the problem. Jill has given Billy so many opportunities, so many chances. He squanders every last one of them. Didn't want to sit here and hang up in her face. Like, dude hung up on her. And then he wonders why she favors Kane over him. Talking about, oh, I thought that you would have threw Kane's success in my face. You really think Jill is thinking about that right now? About, ooh, Kane is more successful than you. That's not what she's thinking right now. Her grandson just died. That's what she's feeling right now. She's grieving. Like, all Billy could think about is ego and business. That's all. His little hurt feelings. And he really got pissed at Kane because he felt like Kane was talking about Jill as if she was his mother too. And that's what really grinds his gears, because he doesn't want them to be that close. He doesn't want to feel like he's losing his mother. But I'm like, Billy needs to wake the hell up and grow up. Like, it's exhausting with them. And Billy, of course, still wants to be in this little plan with Kane. I think Kane need to rethink this team that he got, because it's just, I don't see how he think he gonna take over these companies with this little crack team that he got so far. And of course, soon as Billy leave, Phyllis wastes no time trashing Billy to Kane, basically trying to get Kane to cut Billy loose so she could consolidate her power. Like, Phyllis, everything with her is opportunity and a power grab, because that's exactly what she doing. And Kane could see right through it. And it's so funny because how they be trashing Phyllis' little fruit basket, because he was like, Kane feels like Billy is still committed to the team. Because look at the thought he put in to get him a toy train and stuff, and compare it to the little fruit basket that Phyllis got. I said, why y'all gotta talk about her fruit basket? I mean, shit, a gift is a gift. It's a thought that count. But that's the thing, though. He felt like she ain't put no thought behind that fruit basket. He was like, come on now, out of all the things you could have brought me, this is what you brought. A little tired fruit basket. Probably got bugs on it. I wouldn't have been eating that. You don't know where she got that basket from. I'm just saying. I wouldn't have been touching it. But Phyllis just feels like Billy is not a team player. She feels like he doesn't know how to, take orders. He's not a team player. She's not wrong. She's not wrong. Billy does not work well with others. Billy likes to be top dog. So I just don't see how this team is going to work. Kane thinks that he can reconcile Jill and Billy. Jill and Billy. I don't know. I just feel like that's not Kane's place, to try to force them to reconcile. I just feel like it's too much hurt on both parts for them to reconcile. And I feel like Kane should just focus on business and stay out of that. Ain't no sense in trying to fix that. But, Kane was letting Phyllis know, listen, leave Billy up to me. I got this. I don't know. I just feel like Kane might need to rethink this team. So anyway, moving on from that. I like the way Audra was standing on business in this episode. Like, I love how she stood up for herself. But when she was going toe to toe with Victor, she kept trying to salvage this deal. I mean, if Audra gonna stay in this town, I need her to win at some point, because she just keeps taking L after L after L after L. And I just feel like every loss that she takes, she's not learning from these losses. Because when the Newmans ousted her from Newman Media, she should have never worked with them again. But here she is back working with Victor again. And it's just, why? Victor has burned her. The Newmans have burned her more than once. Remember when she got Tucker's company? Victor pitted her against Kyle and then sold the damn company. Sold all the departments and then sold all the whole company back, to Jabot. And then moved her to Newman Media, and Nikki fired her ass from Newman Media. Like, why do you keep going back to the Newmans for funding or a job? Or why? They're just going to keep knocking you down. They're going to keep using you. And if you fail, which you're doing, they're just going to kick you out again. So why keep putting yourself through that? Like, learn from those mistakes. Like, damn, you done dealt with these people, 3 times already and got burned all 3 times? Even Nate warned her before, don't do business with these people again. Here she go, doing business again. She doesn't listen. She doesn't learn. And I need her to step up and learn. But I was proud, though, that she stood up for herself, because she was letting Victor know, like, oh, I could still turn this around. I had to agree with Victor on this. Your plan is dead. You trying to seduce Kyle or put him in a compromising position so Claire can walk in is dead. That plan is dead. It's not going to work. I get where she's coming from. Plans take time. Patience. You're not dealing with a patient person. Like, Victor ain't all that patient. And Kyle's not going to fall for any of your schemes at this point, because he knows you're up to something. He knows what's going on. So he's not going to allow you to put him in a compromising position so Claire can walk in. He knows what you're doing. Like, that's what she's not understanding. So Victor didn't want to hear no more. He was like, listen, I'm pulling the funding. Your company's dead. Get out. She's sitting there talking about, oh, you can't do that. He was like, who's going to stop me? You? Victor was amused by her. And he also told her, oh, I want all the money back that I gave you. No. If I was Audra, I would have been like, hell to the no. You ain't getting a dime back. How he plan on getting it back? What he gonna do, sue? Like, let's be for real. He gonna sue her for it? And then all this stuff gonna come out publicly? No, I would have kept that money. Nope. Finders keepers. Nope. No backsies. I wouldn't have gave him a damn dime back. She must be crazy. I wouldn't give him nothing. I would have kept that. And just found another investor or something. So anyway, she ran into Jack and Nikki at the damn coffee house. They looking they nose down at her, snarking at her, basically want her out of town. I love how she stood up against them and let Jack know. The way she taunted Jack about Kyle. That was funny. But what she said to them was so true. She was like, no, I'm not leaving town. She was like, because, if an outsider does 1/10 of the shenanigans that they pulled in their lives, they look their nose down at them. And they, want to hurl insults and stuff like that. But when they look at Audra, they see somebody with nothing and they see what they could have been. If they grew up with nothing, if they came from nothing. So I love that she stood up to them and told them the truth, because they stay snarling at people and snarking and looking their nose down at people as if they're less than them. Like, let's be for real. If y'all didn't come from the wealth or have the money that y'all had, y'all would be just like her. Ambitious, clawing, scratching, stepping on people's toes to get somewhere, to get ahead in life. They would have been doing the same damn thing, because look at Nikki. Nikki often forgets where she came from. She often forgets that she was on the dance pole back in the day. She didn't come from luxury. She didn't come from that world. Victor literally taught her everything she know about class and elegance, the luxury lifestyle. He taught her that. She didn't know. She didn't even know what a salad fork was. Homegirl didn't know nothing about decor, how to dress, how to be classy. He taught her that. He taught her how to be wealthy, how to look wealthy. He taught her that. She has that lifestyle because of Victor. Like, let's be for real. But she always looks her nose down at people as if she forgets her own background. She does it to Sharon all the time. I remember back in the day, growing up, watching, she used to always talk shit about Sharon. Always saw Sharon as a gold digger, always after the Newman money. That's how she felt. She still feel that way about her to this day. She still feel a way about Sharon. Nothing's ever going to change with Nikki. She always going to purse her lips at people and think she, this diva, and everybody else is beneath her. And I love how Audra just stood her ground, because it's so true. Jack came from money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you came from the Abbott fortune. You grew up with it. None of them had to, really like scrimp and scratch and claw. They pull shenanigans all the time. They do it all the time. Like, none of them are perfect. So I love that Audra gave them, that little 1-2 piece combo, because they deserve that. I want to see Audra actually win, because if they're going to keep her in town, I'm tired of homegirl losing. It's getting ridiculous at this point. Like, you're going to be in this town, she needs to win, but she need to learn from her mistakes, though. Like, if she's going to go up against the likes of the Newmans and the Abbotts, she needs to get smarter. She really needs to get smarter and learn how to be a few steps ahead of them. So anyway, moving on from that. So Nikki, she is so delusional. Like, she really sitting there talking about how, when Victor does things, he does it out of care for his family. I see she like to be delusional and tell herself these things, because we all know Victor like to control his family. He is not doing this stuff because he care. Come on now, telling these people who to date, who to marry, who not to date, who not to marry, dictating their life, their work life. That's not caring. That's dictatorship. That's control. He's a damn dictator. And for Nikki to sit there and think that's love, and please. That is a shame, to sit there and think that's what your husband doing. If that's what you think your husband is doing, then why behind closed doors you be scolding him? Get mad at him for what you claim he does as caring, but yet you get angry with him and yell at him about it. So I guess in public, she likes to put up a front, like what Victor's doing is, he's caring for his family, but behind closed doors, she knows it's bullshit. And she know it. But she made a suggestion, which is not too bad of a suggestion, because she basically told Jack that the Newmans and Abbotts should work together against Kane. That's good in theory. In theory, that's a good idea. In actuality, it's horrible. And Jack even knew it. I mean, Jack is down to, align himself with the Newmans, including Victor. He's down for that. But he know how Victor is. Like, he knows that Victor's not going to be down with that. He don't trust Victor. Victor's been coming after his family for months. They don't like each other, so I don't see how that's going to work. I mean, it's a good suggestion, but it's just, Victor's an egomaniac. Like, he's going to, even if they did work together, Victor's going to want to call the plays. He's going to want the Abbotts to follow his playbook. Not a collaborative effort. It's not going to be a team. It's not going to be teamwork. It's going to be Victor's plan or nothing at all. And who's to say you could trust Victor? Who's to say that Victor's not gonna, play Kane and play Jack at the same time? Jack can't trust it. It's like I said, it's good in theory, but I don't see that working out. Now, Audra working with Kane and his team, I think that would be, something that could work, because they all have the same goal. They all have the same enemies at this point. Audra is not feeling the Newmans or the Abbots, and Kane wants their companies. That could work. But like I said, in order for Audra to join that team and make that work, she gonna have to get smarter. She gonna have to get smart. So moving on from that, Claire is ready to make moves. Like, she's ready to call Adam, get that apartment. She's done playing by Victor's rule book. She doesn't give a damn what he thinks anymore. And I like that, and I hope she sticks to that. She wanted to know everything that happened in Europe or France or whatever. She wanted to know everything that happened. I love how in public she didn't let Audra rattle her. But in private, she wanted to hear it from Kyle. Like, why was she saying all this? I love that, because that is smart. You never let people see you sweat like that. You never let people think they got the upper hand on you. Never. You don't let that happen. You don't do that. So Kyle pretty much told her everything, how Victor and Audra was working together and how he figured that out, and told Victor about it, and just telling her everything that's going on. Claire was pissed. Claire is ready for war. Like, she's ready to go at it with Audra at this point. She was equally as pissed with Victor for doing that, because she felt like Victor claims he loved people, but look what he's doing. You know what I mean? He rather cause her pain off of his own little benefit, off of his happiness. So she done. Oh, Claire is ready to go to war. She ready to, confront Audra at this point. I wonder what little revenge plot she could come up with against Audra, because it would be quite interesting to see her and Audra going at it. Like, I just want to see them fight, like fist fight at this point. So anyway, it was fun watching Victor and Billy trade, barbs, be snarky with each other. Because Billy really thinks he's a step ahead of Victor, as if Victor doesn't already know what he's planning. Like, Victor already knows that Kane is trying to, get Billy on his side, and they're trying to team up. Victor already knows that. Like, Victor is always like 3-4 steps ahead of these cats. And Billy just falls for it every single time. He always get cocky and think he got one up on Victor. And Victor know your game. He know what y'all trying to do. He not stupid. And Victor just luring that fool into a false sense, because Billy always think he a step ahead. I'm like, sir, you're about 2 steps behind is what you are. You ain't 2 steps ahead. You're behind. I kind of would like to see Billy win sometimes, but it's his ego, his temper tantrums. Like, what Kane said about Billy was so true. Billy doesn't think about the big picture. Like, him just focusing on Chancellor, that's the problem right there. You're focused on something small when there's something even bigger at play, and that's what Kane is trying to get him to realize. Like, dude, there's something way bigger than what you're looking at. And this is why Victor always beats his ass, because Victor thinks about the big picture. Victor thinks outside the box. Like, I can't stand Victor sometimes, but dude really does think like a chess game. And Billy needs to start thinking that way if he ever wants to beat Victor. Like, put your damn ego to the side and start thinking big. Stop thinking so damn small. But anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comments, let me know what you all thought, and I will see you all later. Peace.